So you were 48 last year.
Hi, I'm Susan Harrow, and we're here at Bay Marin Aikido with Ginny Breeland, 5th level Dan Aikidoka, and we're talking about Aikido advice for women and a few men. Here we are.
So looking at things from your uke's perspective is what we're kind of covering, sort of blending idea that is covered in Aikido all the time. Physically, we're told to even look in the same direction as our uke sometimes in the middle of a technique, and that's so that you can join them in their perspective. So this kind of correlates with day-to-day work life, in that when there's conflict, and in Aikido you deal with conflict on the mat and a physical conflict on the mat, and you resolve it. So the best and actually the worst of you sometimes comes out on the mat, and it's a surprise sometimes when we deal with these things. In the workplace, instead of doing what is expected of you, which is when you run into something that's counter what you like, moving away from it, it's better to move into something, to try to understand where somebody is coming from, to try to understand their perspective. And you want to do this purely and wholly and honestly. You don't want to do it halfway, because the more pure your movements are in their direction, the more they'll understand that you really are honestly trying to figure out where they're coming from, so that you can see their perspective, and in turn they'll want to reciprocate and look at your perspective, and then hopefully come to a compromise. So in Aikido, we join movements, a blending movement, so that when we turn and we face the same direction as our uke, we're like looking at his perspective. And this is a true blend. If we abbreviate our blend, then it's not really honest. It's not a real honest listening. So you really don't want to shortcut those physical movements in Aikido, just like you don't want to shortcut them when you're trying to give somebody your honest attention. And I think that in order for us to be given honest attention, you have to kind of suspend your agenda and your judgments about people. And if you listen with an open mind and an open heart and with curiosity, you can really connect with somebody, and they'll know your intent is true. So the conflict will dissolve, and then they'll be open-minded to where your position comes from. In Aikido, we do the same thing physically. We blend, we face the same direction, and we gently take our uke where we need to be. It does not mean that your Budo has to be less martial. Compassion has nothing to do with that. You still can be as martial as you like. You're just controlling the situation in the utmost place. So I see this in the workplace, I see this on mat. That's the same in my feeling.
Thank you, Ginny.